so let's start from where we ended. Okay, here we go. If you hurt yourself very badly, where'd you be taken to? If you hurt yourself very badly, where'd you be taken to? If I hurt myself
If I
very
hurt myself
badly, I'd be
very
taken to
badly,
hospital.
I'd be taken to hospital.
Very good. Would you be glad to hear that you had failed an exam? Would you be glad to hear that you had failed an exam? Yes or no?
Yes,
No, no, I wouldn't be
no,
glad
I wouldn't be
to
glad
hear that I'd
to
failed
hear
an
that
exam.
I'd fail at exam.
I'd be very unhappy.
I'd, I'd be very unhappy.
Very good. Would you be glad if you were told that you had won the lottery? Would you be glad if you were told that you had won the lottery? Yes, I'd be glad
Yes,
if I
I'd
were
be glad
told I'd
if I
won
were
the
told
lottery.
I'd won the lottery.
Very good. What are the two other words for ill? What are the two other words for ill? Two other words
Two
for
other
ill
words for ill
are sick and
are
unwell.
sick and
Unwell.
unwell.
Very good. What's another meaning of to be sick besides to be unwell? What's another meaning of to be sick besides to be unwell? Another meaning of
Another
to be
meaning
sick
of to be
besides
sick
to be unwell
besides to be unwell
is to vomit.
is to vomit.
Very good. Okay. What does this sentence probably mean? The little boy was sick in the car. What does this sentence probably mean? The little boy was sick in the car. That sentence
That
probably
sentence
means
probably
that the
means
little boy
that the little boy
vomited in the car.
vomited in the car.
Very good. What does this sentence
With,
probably mean? The little boy didn't go to school because he was sick. What does this sentence probably mean? The little boy didn't go to school because he was sick. That sentence
the
probably
sentence
means
probably
that the
means
little boy
that the little
didn't
boy
go to school
didn't go to
because
school
he was
because
unwell.
he was unwell.
Very good. When things break, do they normally try to repair them or do you just throw them away? When things break, do you normally try to repair them or do you just throw them away? When things break,
When things
I
break,
normally
I normally
try to repair
I
them.
normally try to repair them.
Very good. What do we call the top covering of a house? What do we call the top covering of a house? We call the
We
top
called
covering
the top
of a
covering
house
of our
the
house
roof.
the roof.
Very good. Do sailing boats move faster in strong winds? Do sailing boats move faster in strong winds? Yes. Sailing
Yes,
boats
sailing
move
boats
faster
move
in
faster
strong
with
winds.
in strong winds.
Is it a windy day today? Is it a windy day today? Yes or no?
No,
It
it
isn't
isn't
a windy day today.
a windy day today.
Very good. What are the three forms of catch? What are the three forms of catch? The three
The
forms of
three
catch
forms of
are
catch
catch,
it
caught,
are
caught.
catch, caught, caught.
When was the last time you caught a cold? When was the last time you caught a cold? The last time
The last
I caught a
time
cold
I caught a
was
cold was 2 months ago.
very good. Have you ever caught a train just as it was leaving the platform? Have you ever caught a train just as it was leaving the platform? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've sometimes caught
I've sometimes caught
a
a,
train
a, a,
just
a,
as it was.
a,
Okay, one
a
moment. Let me reconnect. Okay, one
okay,
moment. Okay, here we go. One more.
okay.
Yes, I've sometimes
I've
caught a
sometimes
train
I caught a
just
train
as it was
just a passport
leaving the platform.
leaving the platform.
Very good. Okay, what are the two ways in which we can repeat what someone has said? What are the two ways in which we can repeat what someone has said? The two ways
The two
in which
ways
we can repeat
which we can
what
repeat
someone has said
what someone has
are
said
by giving
are by
the
giving
exact words
the exact
of the
words
speaker
of the
or by
speaker
reporting
or by
what the
reporting
speaker said.
what the speaker said.
Well, what do we call these two ways? What do we call these two ways? We call these two
We
ways
called these two ways
direct speech
direct
and
speech and
indirect speech.
indirect speech.
Very good. Give me an example of a direct speech. Give me an example of direct speech, please. Mr. Brown said,
Mr. Brown
I
said,
like warm
I
weather.
like warm weather.
Give me an example of indirect speech. Give me an example of indirect speech, please. Mr. Brown said
Mr. Brown
that he
said
liked
that he
warm
liked
weather.
warm weather.
Very good. Okay. What do we do with the tenses when we change direct speech into indirect speech? What do we do with the tenses when we change direct speech into indirect speech? When we change direct
When we
speech
change direct
into
speech
indirect speech,
into indirect
we
speech,
generally move
we
the
generally
verb
move the verb
into the past.
into the past.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. The teacher said,
The
the
teacher
room
said
is
the
large.
room is
The
large.
teacher said
The teacher
that
said
the room was
that
large.
the room was large.
Very good. What do we do if a verb is already in the past? What do we do if a verb is already in the past? If a verb
If a
is
verb
already in the
is
past,
already in the
it
past,
often remains
it often
unchanged.
remains
But
unchanged,
sometimes
but
we put it
sometimes we
further
put it
into the
further
past.
into the past.
Very good. What do we do with the word will when we change direct speech into indirect speech? What do we do with the word will when we change direct speech into indirect speech? When we change
When we
direct
change
speech
direct
into
speech
indirect speech,
into indirect
we
speech,
change the word
we
will
change the word
to
will
would.
to would.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. He said
He
that
said
John
that
would
John
go to London
would go to
next
London
year.
next year.
Very good. Okay, now I will make some statements and I want you to tell me what I said using indirect speech. Okay. Number one, I swim every day. I swim every day. What did I say? You said that.
You said
You
that
swam every day.
you swam every day.
She is speaking to you. She is speaking to you. What did I say? You said that.
You said
She
that
was speaking
she
to me.
was speaking to me.
I have just taken the pen from the table. I have just taken the pen from the table. What did I say? You said that.
You said
You had
that
just
you
taken
had just
the
taken
pen from the
the
table.
pen from the table.
Well, I think I will go to London tomorrow. I think I will go to London tomorrow. What did I say? You said that.
You said
You thought
that you
you
thought
would go
you would
to
go
London
to
tomorrow.
London tomorrow.
Very good. They had books in their hands when they came into the room. They had books in their hands when they came into the room. What did I say? You said that.
You said
They
that
had books
they
in
had
their
books
hands
in the
when
hand
they came
when they
into the
came
room.
into the room.
Very good. I ate too much for dinner. I ate too much for dinner. What did I say? You said
You
you
said
had
that
eaten too
you
much
had eaten too
for
much
dinner.
for dinner.
Very good. Do we use inverted commas for indirect speech? Do we use inverted commas for indirect speech? No, we don't
No,
use
we don't use
inverted commas
inverted
for
commas
indirect speech.
for indirect speech.
Very good. Is it generally necessary to use the word that when we use indirect speech? Is it generally necessary to use the word that when we use indirect speech? No, it
No,
isn't
it
generally
isn't
necessary
generally necessary
to use the word
to
that
use the word that
when we use
when we use
indirect speech.
indirect speech.
Very good. Okay, give me an example. Give me an example, please. He said that
He said
the
that
room was large.
the room was
She
large.
said the room
He
was
said
large.
the room was large.
Very good. Okay. Did people in the old days believe the world was round? Did people in the old days believe the world was round? No. People
No,
in the old
people
days
in the old days
didn't believe
didn't
the
believe
world was round.
the world was round.
They believed
They believed
it was
the,
flat.
it was flat.
Very good. Which is one of the flattest part of your country? Which is one of the flattest parts of your country? One
One
of the flattest part
of the flattest
of
part
my
of
country
my
is
country is Kyoto.
Kyoto. Very good. Would you think it was a great pity if you went for a picnic in the country and it rained? Would you think it was a great pity if you went for a picnic in the country and it rained? Yes, I think
Yes, I
it
think
was a great
it
pity
was a great
if
pity
I went for a
if I
picnic
went for a
in the
picnic
country
in the
and it
country
rained.
and it
Very
rained.
good. What kind of people do you pity most? What kind of people do you pity most? I pity
I
the sick
pity of the
people
sick people,
the most.
the
The
sick
most.
the people the most.
Very good. Translate this phrase in Japanese, please. What a pity. Translate this phrase in Japanese, please. What a pity. What a pity.
Uh, the
What a pity
pity
in Japanese is
in Japanese is kawaiso.
kawaiso. Very good. Okay, next. What are the three forms of blow? What are the three forms of blow? The three
The
forms of
three
blow
forms of
are
blow.
blow,
Yeah,
blew,
blow,
blown.
blow, blow.
Have you ever been blown off your feet by the wind? Have you ever been blown off your feet by the wind? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've been blown off
I've
my
been
feet
blown off my
by the
feet
wind.
by the wind.
Very good. What do you consider to be the best occupation in the world? What do you consider to be the best occupation in the world? I consider
I
my
consider
occupation
my
to be the
occupation
best
to be the
occupation
best
in the
occupation
world.
in the world.
Why must we consider carefully before making an important decision? Why must we consider carefully before making an important decision? We must consider
We must
carefully
consider
before
carefully
making
before
an
making
important
an
decision.
important decision
Because if we don't
because if
consider
we don't
carefully,
consider
we
carefully,
might make
we might
a
make
big mistake.
a big mistake.
Very good. What's the difference between the words what and whatever? What's the difference between the words what and whatever? The difference
The
between
difference
the words
between
what
the word
and
what
whatever
and
is that
whatever
we
is that
use the
we
word what
use the word
in a
what
limited sense,
in a limited sense,
whereas we use
whereas
the
we
word
use
whatever
the word
in a
whatever
more
in the
unlimited
more
sense.
unlimited sense.
If you could buy whatever you wanted, what would you buy? If you could buy whatever you wanted, what would you buy? If I could buy
If I could buy
whatever I wanted,
whatever I
I'd
wanted,
buy
I'd buy, I'd buy
I'd buy Hokkaido or Japan, like
ah,
a big
the
house,
true, a big house.
very good, or I'll buy my company like that. Okay. Can you go for a holiday whenever you like? Can you go for a holiday whenever you like? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
can
can.
go for a
I
holiday
can go on holiday
whenever I like.
when I never I like,
Whenever I like.
whenever I like,
Why? Why? Because I have
because
control
I have a
of my
control
schedule.
of my schedule.
Right? If you could go wherever you like in the world, where'd you go? If you could go wherever you like in the world, where would you go? If I could go
If I
wherever
can
I
go
like
wherever I
in
like
the world,
in the
I'd
world,
go to
I'd go to I'd go to London.
London. Very good. Okay, one moment. Let's just wait for the loading. I go to London. Okay, so let's just wait for the book to load. Okay, so while we're waiting, so not to waste our time. So after the lesson, what are you going to do?
Uh,
What are you going to do after the lesson?
uh, 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 I
I will.
I just a moment. I will so I will take my dinner.
You'll take your dinner very early,
Yes.
6. But you're not planning
Yeah.
to go out tonight.
Yeah. So tomorrow I will go out with my friends.
Mhm.
So I have to
Stay
go
home
to
tonight.
bed.
Go to bed early.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, here we go. If you
Okay.
could meet whoever you wanted, who would you prefer to meet? If you could meet whoever you wanted, who would you prefer to meet? If I could meet
If I could meet
whoever I wanted
whoever I
in the
wanted
world,
in the
I'd
world,
prefer to meet
I'd prefer to meet
Brad Pitt, Tom
uh,
Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, very good. Okay, do you always tell the truth? Do you always tell the truth? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't always tell the
I
truth.
don't always tell the truth.
Sometimes I tell lies.
Sometimes I tell lies
Very good. Why? Why? Because it's sometimes
because
necessary
it's sometimes necessary
to tell
to
lies
to tell
in
lies
order not to be
in
unpleasant.
order not to be unpleasant.
Very good. The newspapers always tell the truth. The newspapers always tell the truth? No.
No,
Newspapers don't
newspapers
always tell the truth.
don't always tell the truth.
Sometimes they tell lies.
Sometimes they tell lies
Very good. Why do they sometimes tell lies? Why do they sometimes tell lies? They sometimes
They
tell lies
sometimes
because
tell lies because they uh,
they want to
they
sell
they
want
they
to
want to
sell
sell
more newspapers.
more newspapers.
Very good. Okay. What's the opposite of the verb to catch? What's the opposite of the verb to catch? The opposite
The
of the
opposite
verb to
of
catch
of the verb to
is to
catch
miss.
is to it's to miss.
If I threw my pen to you, do you think you'd catch it or you miss it? If I threw my pen to you, do you think you'd catch it or miss it? If you threw
If you
your pen
threw
to me,
my your pen to me,
I think
I'd
I'd
I think
I, I'd miss it.
I'd miss.
Very good. Are you in the habit of missing trains and buses? Are you in the habit of missing trains and buses? Yes or no?
Uh, yes,
I'm in the habit
I'm in the
of
habit
missing trains
of
and
missing
buses.
trains and buses
Very good. Why? Why? Because I always
because
leave everything
I always
to the
leave
last
everything
minute and
to the
then
last
have to
minute
hurry.
and then have to hurry
Have to hurry.
have to hurry.
Very good. How long do you have to be away from home before you begin to miss your family and friends? How long do you have to be away from home before you begin to miss your family and friends? I have to be
I
away
have
from
to be
home
away from
for
home
about
for about 3 weeks
before I begin to
before I
miss my
begin
family
to
and
miss
friends.
my family and friends.
Right? Did you miss the last lesson? Did you miss the last lesson? Yes or no?
No,
I didn't miss
I
the last
didn't
lesson.
miss the last lesson.
Very good. Do you think that a union of all the countries in Europe will ever be possible? Do you think that a union of all the countries in Europe will ever be possible? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think that
I, I think
a
that
union
uh, a
of
union
all the countries in Europe
of all the countries in Europe
will one day
uh,
be possible.
will one day be possible.
Very good. What is a trade union? What is a trade union? A trade union
A trade
is an
union it
organization
is an organization
composed of workers
composed of workers
from a particular industry.
from a particular industry.
Very good. Are you in? It protects the workers. Okay? It protects the workers
It protects the
and
workers
fight to improve
and fight to
their
improve
pay and conditions.
their pay and conditions.
Very good. Are you in favor of trade unions? Are you in favor of trade unions? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not in favor of
I,
trade unions.
I'm not in favor of trade
Very
unions.
good. Okay, one moment. Okay, let's continue. Here we go. What can we
Okay,
use rope for? What can we use rope for? We can use rope
we can use
for
rope
climbing mountains,
for climbing
pulling
mountains,
things, etc.
pulling things, etc.
Very good. What did you see if you climbed the stair to the top of your building? What did you see if you climbed the stairs to the top of your building? If I climbed the
When I
stairs
climb the
to the
stairs
top of my
to
building,
the top of my
I'd
building,
see.
I'd see other
Right.
buildings.
Is it easy to climb to the top of the music industry and stay there? Is it easy to climb to the top of the music industry and stay there? No, it isn't
No,
easy
it isn't
to
easy
climb to the top
to climb to the
of
top
the music
of
industry
the music
and
industry
stay there.
and stay there.
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
Very good. If you lost your keys, where would you look for them first? If you lost your keys, where would you look for them first? If I lost my
If
keys,
I lost my
I'd
key,
look for them
I'd look
in
for them
my
in my pocket,
purse.
in my pocket first.
Very good. Where do people go when they're looking for justice? Where do people go when they're looking for justice? People go to
People
the low
go
courts
to the local
when they
ones
are looking
when
for
they are
justice.
looking for justice.
Very good. Would you like the job of a judge? Would you like the job of a judge? Yes or no?
And no,
I wouldn't like the
I
job
wouldn't like the job
of a judge.
of a judge.
Very good. How do we form verbs from certain adjectives or nouns? How do we form verbs from certain adjectives or nouns? We form verbs
We form
from
verbs
certain adjectives
from certain
or
adjectives
nouns
for
by
nouns
adding the letters
by adding the
en.
letters en,
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Dark, darken.
dark, darken,
Short, shorten,
short, shorten,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What does the verb to darken mean? What does the verb to darken mean? The verb
The
to
verb
darken means
to darken
to make
means
darker
to
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 get
make darker,
darker
or get to darker,
or to get darker.
or to get darker.
Wait, if our trousers are too long, what must we do to them? If our trousers are too long, what must we do to them? If our
If
trousers
our
are too
trousers
long,
are too
we must
long,
shorten them.
we must shorten them.
Do the days lengthen or shorten as we go towards summer? Do the days lengthen or shorten as we go towards summer? The days lengthen
The days
as
lengthened
we go
as we
towards
go
summer.
towards summer.
Do you think sport can strengthen the friendship between different countries? Do you think sport can strengthen the friendship between different countries? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
it.
sport
I think
can
sports
strengthen
can
the
strengthen
friendship
the
between
friendship between
different countries.
different
How
countries.
many syllables must an adjective or noun have in order for us to form a verb from it? How many syllables must an adjective or noun have in order for us to form a verb from it? An adjective
An
or
adjective
noun must have
or noun must have
only one syllable
only one
in
syllable
order for us
in order
to
for
form
us
a verb
to form a
from it.
verb from it.
Can we form verbs from all adjectives and nouns of one syllable? Can we form verbs from all adjectives and nouns of one syllable? No. We can't
No,
form
we
verbs
can't form verb
from all adjectives
from all
and
adjectives
nouns
and
of
nouns
one syllable.
of one syllable.
Give me an example of a one syllable adjective from which we can form a verb. Give me an example of a one syllable adjective from which we can form a verb, please. An example
An
of a
example
one syllable
of a one
adjective
syllable
from
adjective
which
from
we can
which
form a
we
verb
can't form a
is
verb
small.
is small.
Very good. Okay. Next. Give me a sentence with the word obvious. Give me a sentence with the word obvious, please. It is obvious
It is
from what he
obvious
says
from what he
that he
said
is not
that
interested
he is not
in the job.
interested in the
The
job.
small children sometimes say they aren't tired when they obviously are. The small children sometimes say they aren't tired when they obviously are. Yes, small children
Yes, small
sometimes
children
say they
sometimes
aren't
say
tired
they aren't
when they
tired
obviously are.
when they obviously are,
Why? Why? Because they don't want
because
to go
they
to
don't
bed,
want to go to bed,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What is an ache? What is an ache? An ache
An
is a
ache
continuous
is a
physical pain,
continuous physical
such
pain,
as toothache,
such as toothache,
headache, stomach ache,
headache,
earache,
stomach ache,
etc.
earache, etc.
What might you get if you ate too much? What might you get if you ate too much? I might get
I might get
stomach ache,
a hump cake,
stomach ache
stomach
if
ache
I ate too much.
if I ate too much.
Where should you go if you get toothache? Where should you go if you get toothache? I should go
I should
to the
go
dentist
to the
if
dentist
I get toothache.
if I get toothache.
What kind of things give you a headache? What kind of things give you a headache? The kind of things
The kind of
that
thing
give me a headache
that give me a headache
are too much noise,
are too much
hard,
noise,
a hot weather,
are a hot weather,
etc.
etc.
Okay, so we stop there for today, but very good practice. Thank you very much. See you again.